I'm Dr. Prax, and this is my son, Blaze Prax. And you were raised by two doctors in the health field, and I'm just curious. This will be a fun conversation. I know, during preschool and before that, and then kindergarten, and the school you went to, the Waldorf school, it was pretty common for kids to come in with, natural good foods and a lunchbox full of vegetables and fruits and all that. But at what point in your life, in your schooling career or your life, did you come to realize that, whoa, we're kind of different? The normal that you grew up with is different than everyone else. And then how did you handle that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I never really thought about that like point wise. I think if I were to really think about it, it was in high school where when people would come over to my house, they would ask questions. Well, where's this? Where's that? Well, we don't even have a microwave. Like there was just little things that I had to barter during lunch. I had to trade some carrots for a Kit Kat or something. That was definitely a hard sell. But I but I was doing my best during that time. So I didn't realize obviously it was just something that tasted good. It was delicious, right? And I think really in high school is when I started to realize more and more how that affects the body, because I think it gave more time for the effects of my friends, really bad quality of life decisions as far as what they consume to really have that effect, to where it was really able to give me the idea of, hey, the decisions and really the way that I've been raised is actually giving me the best quality of life and the best internal health as possible. And so I think during that high school period was really the time where my eyes opened up about the differences between how I was raised versus how other people were raised. And so I just wanted to appreciate you for what it is that I do know and the quality of life that I have now.
I appreciate that. I don't know if we're still rolling, but I appreciate that. But there were so many times as parents we had to say no. Can we watch movies? No. Can we have some Kit Kat? No. Can we have Ben and Jerry's? All my friends are eating Ben and Jerry's. And now that you're a grown adult, you can see where that path leads people to. You realize, hopefully, I was raised in a pretty healthy way. Mm-hmm. The health I'm enjoying now is based on the last few decades of living the healthy lifestyle. Yeah. So, but you do have to give up certain things. Well, you didn't have to give up certain things, but the average American has to give up certain things in order to go up to a different level of health. So it's important for you as a treatment coordinator to have that, to try and gain that empathy for people, is that like your friends that you learned about in high school, most Americans grew up that way. It was pizza, it was mac and cheese, it was, wash it down with a Pepsi. And it wasn't like, should I do Pepsi or water? It was, should I do Pepsi or Sprite or root beer? What am I having tonight? It was just like, wow. And so you never had those choices, but it is important for you to have empathy, and hopefully you have a foot in the standard American diet, then you also have a foot in the wellness diet, and then you can see both sides, and to really have empathy for people. When people say, man, I've been eating this way for 78 years, like, well, how's that working for you?
Right.
It's not working very well.
And I think that just ties in really well to, I think a big part of the reason why I love doing what we do is that this knowledge and this information needs to be brought to more people. And that's really what we do at Heal Better, is being able to provide more information, more knowledge, more resources to be able to make these changes so that we can start seeing the changes that we want. Because if we're not willing to make changes, we can't just expect to see changes. And so follow along to learn more about these kind of tips, because we're going to be releasing more and more ways that you can do at home to be able to start improving your quality of life, not just for yourself, your family, your grandkids, and the whole generation that comes after you. And so the power of knowledge is really only as good as you apply it. And so take this video as a sign, show it to your friends, show it to your family, to really start making the changes that are going to make the difference that you want to see.
And will make a difference.